What's up, guys? Welcome back to another So Your Wife Wants You To. This is actually going to be a part 2 of a clear coat scratch video that I did. We determined in that video that this scratch is a little bit more involved than a clear coat scratch. So for a clear coat scratch, you can get it wet and it disappears. You can run your fingernail on it and you can kind of feel it. This one, when I ran my fingernail, I could really feel it. There are teeny little chips coming off of the actual scratch. And also, when I got it wet, it did not disappear. So this one's going to be a little more involved. Some of the products that I'm using are Scratch X 2.0. This is actually really good stuff, as you probably saw in the other video. I'll put a link above the little iCard. That'll take you to that video. It'll also be at the end. I'll end link it. This is going to be like the last product we use. Some tape, which you see we've already put on there. 3 different kinds of sandpaper. We've got 3,000 grit, 5,000 grit, and 7,000 grit. So this is the 7,000. It all pretty much looks the same. You just got to pay attention to the numbers on the back. And then a couple of terry cloth towels. So the first step, which I've already done, and a squirt bottle. So the first step I've already done is get it wet. And you see for this scratch, I got it wet and it did not disappear. So we take the 3,000 first, and we're going to sand perpendicular to the scratch. So I'm going to continue doing that. You see I've already done it. It's kind of hazy. We'll do a little focus in on here. So you can see it's kind of hazy. But we're going to keep working on it, and I'll do some updates here. Alright guys, so you can see the 3,000 grit I've used. You can still see the scratch, which is different than in the previous video where you don't want to see the scratch. But in here, it's so deep that you're going to see it still. We're going to take this tape off and start working with the 5,000. Alright, so don't forget you want to get the area wet and your sandpaper wet. This is a waterproof sandpaper. So our goal here is to just kind of have a nice area where there's no defined edges anymore. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. Okay, I've been sanding in circles. And you can kind of see there's a haziness now. So now we're going to go back over it with the 7,000. So I'm going to do kind of 7,000 around this whole area, but also edge it out. Alright, so 7,000 grit, soaking wet. Just kind of going over everything. Now let's wipe it clean and see what we have. Uh-oh. There's a little girl. So you can kind of see, you still have kind of a defined edge right here, right here. So I'm going to do a little bit more around that area, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright guys, I turned on the flash here, so we'll have a little extra light. So you can kind of see it's real hazy, and you can still see the scratch. So what our next step is, we're going to use this Maguire Scratch X2. Think of this as like 2.0. Think of it as like a 20,000 grit. Basically, it just takes all those microscopic rifts and valleys that we've created and smooths them all out. So I'll show you how it works. Take your old rag. You don't need a lot. I mean, you need enough to cover it all. So it kind of looks like a lot, but you know, maybe about that much for this area. Just rub it all around. If you rub it on this paint over here or something, it doesn't matter. And we take our nice clean terry cloth like I said in the last video, it's just 100% pure cotton. It's got kind of those bumps that you're familiar with, so it's terry cloth. And we just wipe it. Don't be afraid to press hard. Circle motions, just press hard. Get a new section of it. Do the same thing, press hard. Now it actually looks pretty good like that. I'll probably do another coat of the polish, but then we're going to go get some paint. Let's see, before I close out here, kind of see how it looks. We'll do a little field trip here. So you can kind of see how it looks. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not great because it's still got some work to do, but it's better than it was, and it's going to get even better, so let's keep working it. Alright, so what I'm doing next is I haven't added any wax or polish yet, okay? It's just that polish, it's just the polish that you just saw, but not the actual like waxy stuff, because what we want to do next is paint. So I'm going to get this tape as close as possible to that scratch. Let me zoom in so you can see. Oh, my little girl's trying to get in the picture. Little Layla from Twins Play TV. Okay, so the scratch is right there on the outside of this, and we're going to do another piece of tape on the other side. The more you mask, the less your wife will hate you for getting paint all over her car, so masking is good. Alright, so this is what we're left with here. So you can see I've masked all around this. The scratch is right there where the black is. I know it's hard to see now, but that's it. I got the perfect match. This is something that you'll have to get for your car if this is what you want to do, because it's going to be different for every different car. You'll have to look that up. Auto parts stores can help you, or you can look it up online. There's a paint code in the door jamb of the driver's side of your car, so you can look at it there. I could show you later in this video if I remember. We're also going to use some clear coat. I'll link that up in the description. There's different kinds of clear coat. It's all pretty much the same though. It just says clear top coat. That's what you want it to say. Alright guys, so the next step, we're going to take the perfect match, and I mean we're going to kind of angle it down just a little bit, like literally, and then that's it. Ready? And that's all we're going to do. See how it sparkles? Man, that's some cool looking paint. But anyway, that is it for the paint, I think. We're going to take a look and see how that scratch looks. I might run some 7000 over it, but I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Oh, the other thing, to get it to dry a little faster, I just have an old hair dryer. I would recommend that, just especially because it's so humid tonight. It's like a humid summer night, so it's really wet, moist out. But yep, that's all. So I'm going to dry it with the hair dryer, and then I'll get back with you. Alright guys, so I've decided I'm going to take some really small piece of 7000 grit, and I'm going to go parallel to the actually what I'm going to do first is take the tape off, so I'll be right back with you. I'm just thinking through all this. Okay, I peeled the tape off. See what we're kind of left with is a brand new strip of paint. So we want to take some super fine sandpaper, kind of go back over that. Real soft. I'm not pressing down hard at all. It's dry. The paint might be a little bit sticky, but I'm just trying to take the margins off of it, just to kind of blend it in. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really. I've had physics class. I've kind of played with paint in the past, so I kind of understand what I'm doing, but I don't know if it's going to work too well. We are going to see in just a little bit. And I won't publish this video if it doesn't work, but I think it's going to be okay. I see a little bit of glue from the tape right there. This is the really like non-stick tape, so it's the best I can do with it. I think it'll be okay once we wax it, because glues and waxes kind of have the same similar chemical property. So I'm gonna put this back on pause so you don't have to watch me, but I'm gonna do this whole strip up and down. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, so I've sanded until it feels smooth. I got a little bit more to go, but it's really smooth now. You can see that there looks like there's like a raised area, but with my finger, it's completely, you can hear the squeakiness. There's no ridge at all. It's completely smooth. Alright guys, it's completely smooth to the touch. If I close my eyes, I can't tell where it is. I know you can definitely see it, but I can't tell where it is. So we're going to do the Meguiar's Scratch X. We're going to do that on it again and see what it looks like. And at this point, I think I'm going to skip the clear coat stuff. Alright. So I'm putting this on the normal car and the new strip of spray paint. We're going to see what happens. We're experimenters here on Sell Your Wife Wants You To. We do a lot of science-based stuff in order to save $1,000 for a paint job. And I don't know that it's going to work too well, guys. I think it's just a different kind of paint. The polish works great, but I think it's just a different kind of paint. It even feels smooth like glass. But I think it's just, the paint is different, so we're going to see a line there. But it's better than it was when there was a big scratch about to rust. And we are still going to put some of that Meguiar's polish on. Basically, it's like a wax. You can use wax too. Wax is probably actually better, but this is all I had, so. And it's basically just put it on, rub it in, and let it dry. And then we'll use a fresh cloth that doesn't have that stuff on it to wipe it all off. Terry cloth is the best. Again, this didn't probably do too much, but I think it kind of helps with the gloss a little bit. Alright, that's about as good as it's going to get. Not really that bad. I know a lot of, it's maybe hard to see in the video, but a lot of it's just kind of like a mirror finish there. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it. So you saw kind of the process anyway of fixing the scratch. And at least this won't rust, so it's better than it was. It's not perfect, and if it's going to have to be perfect, then my better half is going to have to start saving up of probably $4 or $5 grand. Anyway, that's all we have for today. I'm going to leave a link to all the products that I use. I'll put them in the description below, because there'll be affiliate links for Amazon. It doesn't cost you a dime to click on them, but if you do want some of these things, I would love it if you went to click on the links to get them, because it helps our channel out and allows our channel to get, I think it's like a few cents probably for each thing that people get, but it kind of all adds up, and we can buy more fun toys with the money. So that's all that's about. Thank you again for watching, and have a great rest of the day.